Donald Trump is losing his mind on Truth Social this morning and has continuously been with this entire Jeffrey Epstein thing because it is just simply not going away. He wants his base to move on from this. He wants everybody to forget about it.
I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. And apparently there is something in this that he doesn't want us to see. Doesn't want his base to see, doesn't want America or the world to see. He himself even said, I'll remind you right here in this clip.
So if you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these. Yeah. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least...
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there because that was a weird situation and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I'd go a long way toward that one. The other stuff I would.
Where are the files, Donald? Where are the files? He, the other day, was spiraling online saying that it was actually the Democrats that drafted this up. It was Obama, Hillary, and all these people, like trying to use the same old tired playbook that, it was actually the Democrats. Deflect and post blame on others. Let me read you guys what he posted on Truth Social this morning because this is insane. I was reading this and I'm like, this does not make any coherent sense. Let me read for you guys what this says, and it's quite long, so just bear with me because I think it's important for you guys to hear everything, and I'll also put it up on the screen. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia, no, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom, and even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is that we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will. Even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years, I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history, and all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems is a Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. And obviously his supporters in the comments are not jiving with this. Someone was like, why was Epstein in prison then? How about Ghislaine? For a hoax? I don't think so. This is the hill we all die on. This is crazy. This is wild. And the fact that he's now trying to pivot saying it was all the Democrats, if I'm not mistaken, it was literally the Republican MAGAs, influencers, who built entire platforms and brands off of this, aka Pam Bondi.
We are releasing all of these documents as soon as we can get them redacted to protect the victims of him, of all of these horrific crimes that he committed.
I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
If you didn't know, let me give you a little bit of background context on this because I did not know too much about the Epstein case. I didn't follow it closely. I kind of have just a brief one paragraph that I wrote up. So from what I gathered, Jeffrey Epstein was a wealthy financier and convicted sex offender who was arrested in 2019 on federal charges for sex trafficking minors. He had powerful friends. He from U.S. presidents. I mean, Donald Trump was a friend of his. You know, he was friends with Donald Trump. From presidents to British royalty, and his suspicious death in prison officially ruled a suicide, prompted people to have all of this speculation for years, believing that he had some kind of high-profile client list and that he was unalived to keep them private, to keep it a secret. And despite promises from politicians, the so-called client list has never been released, and the public has never seen a full accounting of who was involved with all of this. And the lack of transparency has fueled this widespread mistrust and all these theories that, you know, all of these people are involved in this, like the whole Pizzagate, all of that. Like, you guys know about all of that. Pam Bondi said that she was going to release the client list. She even said this on live TV.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, we'll check back with you.
I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
However, when it came time, she was like, in a memo with the FBI, there is no client list. Epstein was in it alone. He did unalive himself, and that's it. Case closed. And you had this revolt from the MAGA base, not wanting to accept this.
Bannon's calling for a special counsel. Tucker Carlson's calling it an absolute total cover-up of Jeffrey Epstein's murder and crimes. Glenn Beck is calling for Pam Bondi to resign. Megyn Kelly is calling for Pam Bondi to resign. The Epstein family is out saying the government is lying to us. They've lied to our faces. We're the bereaved family, and they won't give us any information. Tucker's takedown, particularly savage. Here we go.
So they're not stupid.
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I've told you. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? This is the Department of Justice.
Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous.
Well,
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act.
Yes.
You had influencers losing their minds, posting about this. This is not, like, this doesn't make sense. And then Trump gets up there and starts trying to gaslight everybody. And then, as you know, normal, all these MAGA pundits on cable news try to fall in line and twist themselves into a pretzel about all this. Like, look at this clip that I saw on CNN's Newsnight with Abby Phillip last night.
The Black Book is the list of the victims. That's the Black Book. We know he had a Black Book, and it was a Black Book of the victims, okay? Then you want to talk about another list. It doesn't seem there is another. There's friends of Jeffrey Epstein's, there's associates, there are flight logs. The problem with that is Donald Trump is on the flight logs. It doesn't mean he did anything wrong. But the reality is, if you want to say, I want to see every flight log, we know Donald Trump was flying with his kids, his infant at one point, from Teterboro, New Jersey to Florida on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. That's not helpful to Donald Trump politically. And as a result, if they're going to demand that everything connected with Epstein be released, it will include some stuff about Donald Trump.
But you don't know that because, first of all, we don't know what the victim testimony is. There are women. The part that I don't understand is Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in prison right now for trafficking women. Young girls, excuse me, they were not women. Thank you for pointing that out. Mm-hmm. Did she just traffic them to Epstein, or did she traffic? Wait a second. Or did she traffic them to other people? If so, who were those other people?
Let's not pretend we don't know anything about the case. She was tried. All the evidence came out. We know about the civil cases against her. We know what was redacted, what wasn't.
What we don't. Well, first of all, what was redacted is what we need to know. But we don't know. We certainly don't know what some of these girls had to say about who they potentially slept with. But we don't know the answer to that.
We actually do.
And we don't actually, because we don't know if there's video of this. We don't know what Epstein had. We don't have access to any of that.
Right. This is like saying, like, oh, you know, there might be this and there
might
be that.
We don't know.
True. It's true. There might be, but there's no evidence of this.
We don't know.
That Dan is making,
bring it out.
The underlying point that Dan is making is that the secrecy is to protect Trump.
No, well, I mean, a little bit. I mean, I don't think it's secrecy. It's I think Trump's right. Trump's right. There's nothing there. Trump's right on that.
Wait a minute here, Dan. So you think that the 200 young girls who testified, in Florida, for example, in Florida, it was 200 victims or survivors. I don't like to use the word victims. You don't think that those young girls slept with men? You don't think that those men were doing incredibly bad, wrong things to them, harming them?
Here's what we know.
Not just Epstein.
Right. But what's the evidence? I mean, you're asking me.
Survivors
you're asking me. Use common sense, right?
Assault,
so there must have been multiple assailants, right? Says who?
Says the survivors.
No. That's right. The ones who have spoken out have talked about the people involved.
Hold on, Dan.
Virginia.
How do we know that there were not? I think this is the whole point, right? The whole point is people want to know if there were other people. If the files substantiate what you're saying, that there are not other people, that's what people want to know.
There are other people.
Here's what Nikki Haley weighed in on this. She says, release the Epstein files, this is Nikki Haley, and let the chips fall where they may. This is why people don't trust government. You can never go wrong with being transparent. Redact the victims' names, but release the rest.
So you have these people who are trying to blow this under the rug and hope that all of this just blows over, but it's literally not going anywhere. Elon Musk even said that Trump is in the Epstein list and that's why it's not going to be released. And Trump has always been like weird when this has been brought up. He said he would release it, and every time he was asked about Epstein in an interview, he started to get a little weird, like wishy, like you could tell that he was physically uncomfortable. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene making a very coherent argument about all of this. Let me play this for you guys.
How big of a blowback is there right now in MAGA world specifically?
It's pretty big, I have to be honest. It's just a red line that it crosses for many people. Jeffrey Epstein is literally the most well-known convicted pedophile in modern-day history. This is something that's been talked about by many people serving in the administration, myself and many others on the right and the left, of there needing to be transparency of the rich and powerful elites that were in his circle while he was just one of the worst serial abusers of young women. It has been a very serious situation for the administration, and many people are speaking out online. You've seen it. You saw it at Turning Point Student Action Summit this weekend. And a lot of people in MAGA, they really want to know more information about the people that were involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And is there a blackmail list? And are there foreign countries' governments involved? And there's nothing wrong with people continuing to ask that.
However, when it came time to vote, because the Democrats, Representative Ro Khanna of California, put forward this motion that would force the DOJ to release the Epstein files within 30 days, and it narrowly failed in a 211 to 210 vote, with Marjorie Taylor Greene voting to not release the files. So this is how you know these people are not serious about all of this. It was never about protecting the children and all of this kind of stuff, because if the opportunity to actually release everything is out there, there is something in there that they don't want us to see. And maybe they got calls from the White House about some dirt that they have on them. You know, I mean, like, I've seen Scandal. I'm pretty sure that's how all of this really works. Then they vote not to release the files. The whole thing is fishy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's hard to keep up with all of this. All I see are just people crashing out online about all of this.
By coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country, and they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
And I mean, Epstein and Epstein client list is trending on True Social right now. I only go on True Social just to kind of like see what else is going on. But you have all of these people not giving it a rest. Like, they're not going to let this go. So do you believe Trump is in? Like, I don't know. I think he's in there. I think he's in there, and that's why they don't want it released. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.